Hey folks, it's Vic Noble here with your weekly trade example for the week ending April the 5th of 2013. You know, one of the mistakes that novice traders make is that they have no filter on when they should be trading and when they'd be best just to stand aside. Now, I know that everyone likes to know, where do I get in, where do I put my stop, and where do I get out? And hey, you know what? Those are important things to know. There's no question about it. And an ideal methodology will get you into a trade with a very minimal amount of risk, but give you the potential to make many times what you're risking. And that's exactly what we show in the RFP course. And of course, we go over that kind of stuff in the Coach's Corner all the time. And there are some very highly reliable ways of doing this. I'll show you one at the end of this video. But trading is not just about taking all these technical setups that come along. There are other considerations, which is why your brain is going to serve you better in the long run than relying on a trading robot or something like that. Now, one of the things that you need to be aware of is when there are market situations where, like as a day trader, you would be best just to stand aside. And this past week we had that happen on a few days, actually, starting on Wednesday evening. And when I say Wednesday evening, I'm talking New York time, okay, Eastern time. And I'll show you what I mean here. And we'll take a look at this this chart here. This is the Aussie yen pair. You could look at actually at any of the yen crosses to illustrate the point, because there was major red flag news coming out of Japan. Okay, and this is the Aussie yen. So you want to pay attention to the country that you're trading here. And Japan had rate announcements and a monetary policy statement. And by the way, if you don't know where to get information on economic releases, there's several good economic calendars. We generally use forexfactory.com. It has all the information. The technical look of this pair had been more on the negative side, like for day trading. You can see it was sort of all coming down here over the days and weeks before this announcement. And if we look at let's go to the 4-hour chart here for a minute. And here's what it looked like. This is a 4-hour chart, and you can see what's happening. We're breaking these levels here and getting them retested, and came back up, broke down here, or another retest at that same level of resistance. Here's support, another bounces up, here's resistance, and it holds there for a little bit, then breaks down below it, retests it, down to support, comes back up to it used to be support, and now it's resistance, and more moves down. And actually, just prior to this news release, if you have the RFP course, there was actually on this. If you went to a 1-hour chart, there was actually a valid number 6 short here, the VIC trade. It was a good trade. But also, if you have the RFP course, you know that we pay lots of attention to the trading environment. We have a whole section on that in there. And this is exactly why, because as I'm alluding to here, rate announcements and speakers and monetary policy talk can cause big, violent movement. Something else you need to know about the release of this particular number is that there wasn't even a specific time given on the calendar. Usually there is. And it was just listed as tentative. So you need to know that kind of stuff. Well, if you were short in here due to a technical setup, we'll just move the chart ahead here and I'll show you what happened. That's what happened. Straight up. I mean, like a rocket. It was unbelievable. Maybe you saw that. And I can tell you this, that if you were still short from this technical setup in here when this happened, and you think that your stop loss would protect you, I can almost guarantee you that you would get a far, far worse fill than what you thought you should be getting due to the fast moving market conditions. Brokers will fill you at the best available price, but when this happens, when it goes up like this, there are no offers, only bids. It's just bid, bid, bid all the way up here. And prices go straight up until some offers come in, at which time you get filled with terrible slippage and a big headache. Okay, so what I'm getting at in this video is be smart about when you should trade and when you should excuse me, sit on your hands. Actually, this past Monday in the Coach's Corner, Shirley Hudson, a tremendously good trader, did a very nice presentation on how she assesses the economic releases in terms of whether or not she's prepared to participate, because there's numbers coming out all the time, right? And it doesn't mean you can't trade, but you need to know how to handle these numbers. There are lots and lots of trades available most days, and you certainly don't need to be putting yourself in jeopardy by fooling around in dangerous environments like this. I mean, with the techniques that we teach, where we show you how to get into trades with very small risk, you can easily get risk rewards of 2 to 1 and much higher. So I mean, you can do the math, but you sure don't need to trade much to do very, very well. So just be smart about how and when you're trading. show you a quick example. I said earlier, I'll just show you a quick example of a trade in a normal trading environment, meaning nothing big in the works that could hurt you. And it was a pattern number 6, which is in the RFP course. That's really a good momentum trade. And then we'll wrap this up. But let me just show you on the euro here. Where was it here? It was there's actually a bunch of them here. There's lots of them this week, all profitable. But we'll just pick this one out on April the 2nd. And I'm just showing you this. And like I say, in the coach's corner, we went through. There's lots of different ones, but this is a perfect setup for a pattern number 6, and it was in alignment with the daily trend and everything. And there was actually one trade right here. You see this level I got marked off, this 128.43? Actually, let me zoom this out. Look at this level. Do you think that's a very good level? This is really good. That's why I have my lines on my charts. I mean, you know, you don't have to go crazy with them, but I mean, know where the key levels are. They really help your trading. This was actually a pattern 6 sell rate in here. Back down to this level of old support in here and resistance and support again. Nice little, there's a nice place to measure where you can get your profits. This is also a 15-minute MOF trade that we teach, the slingshots and the MOFs. Then it never changed. It stayed as a pattern number 6, and it became a 1-hour MOF right here. Another pattern 6, really good setup at resistance, and then another was also a MOF trade and another profit. So they happen all the time, all over the place. But I just wanted to give you a little idea of, you know, the kind of markets that are okay to trade in. Well, there's nothing bad happening here. There's another really nice one up in here. There's another really nice one going down here. All valid setups, all profitable trades when you obviously learn how to do them properly. But anyway, I'll wrap it up there at that. I just wanted to make that point today that there are times when you want to stand aside and you need to be very aware of the trading environment. It really can make a difference in your trading and all that kind of stuff. All right, so you guys have a great weekend and week ahead, and I'll be back at the end of next week with another weekly trade example. Thanks so much.